And then I saw this image of someone who was dropped from the heavens down. So I kind of felt that's like the gods that were dropped down somehow. Okay, hi guys. It is currently Easter weekend here in Cyprus. And this is actually Easter Saturday to be exact, but I'm not sure when this video is going to go out. So just to give you an idea, Orthodox Easter, not the other Easter that other people celebrate. Now it's very, very interesting because every time I want to film, there's either a screaming kid in the background or there are people that just won't leave. They're literally like standing right next to me for no reason, there's nothing to see or whatever. And that was when I was inside the monastery, by the way. Right now I'm a bit outside because I had to find a spot that was a little bit more quiet. So there's either a screaming kid, people, or the wind that makes it almost impossible to film. And I'm just gonna say that's typical AI sabotage. And it just happens all the time, doesn't it? It's just crazy. So I had to crawl all the way up here on this little hill to just find a quiet spot or a more quiet spot to film. So this is Kykkos Monastery. And I'll blend in how you write that because I actually don't even know how you pronounce that. It's one of the bigger ones here in Cyprus and one of the few ones that I really wanted to visit. A lot of interesting energy. So you still have some monks here or religious Orthodox people for sure. You do see them occasionally in the hallways. You do have to dress accordingly too. So right now it's very, very hot in the rest of Cyprus. It's just up here in the Trodoos Mountains. It's a bit chillier and the wind probably has to do with that too. Now, while I was in there, you could see a lot of interesting imagery. So you could see a lot of the story of Jesus, and it almost felt like there was a message behind all of that in and of itself too. You kind of just these pieced together portraits or drawings or images from the start, from when he was a child up until when he was crucified. And see, that's exactly what I mean. It's random people who weren't there before all of a sudden just, yeah, it's crazy. It's the interference is crazy. It's been really, really crazy since coming here. It's been pretty eye-opening just to see it today, because this would be a place that can be both sacred, but also it's opening up a lot of portals. And so I stepped into this really dark church-like room or cathedral. No filming allowed, so I couldn't take a lot of footage in there, but maybe you can see just by the short footage that I took in there how dark it feels. I literally felt dizzy and as if I was about to faint when I stepped into that. The energy here is interesting, so it kind of gave me a little bit of a flashback back to Jerusalem vibes, because you can feel it's old, it's ancient. I'm not really sure how old exactly it's supposed to be, if it's just medieval ages or older. And there's some darker underlying energy in a lot of these spots. So especially in that cathedral-like setting, not the entire monastery in and of itself, but I have felt kind of attacked while just walking down the halls. And so I had to set up triple, quadruple, even more psychic protection when I was just looking at some of the images that they've displayed on the walls, and I was like, ooh, this is so strange. It's like they really are trying to attack somehow. And then when stepping into that one room, I almost fainted. I was like, wow, this is insane. This is really how normal people don't feel that. I have no idea. So a lot of entities trying to siphon off of people's energies. Just be aware of that. I have to do a full-on cleansing once I'm back in the place that I'm staying. Another thing that I have noticed, it's so crazy, you guys, since coming here, and that there's something sticky, icky, I don't want to say in a negative way necessarily, but that there's something like that here. It's been an interesting energy to sit in. So when I first landed, I landed more on the east side, which is Larnaca, that's the international airport. And when I first got out of the airport, aside from all the Hasidic Jews scrambling all over the place because they use that as a transit between Israel and a different country like Great Britain or something else. Aside from that, the energy felt very heavy. Heavy meaning oppressive heavy. I don't know, not necessarily suffocating, but you could feel it. And I really did think that came from the Gaza Strip, what's going on right now. Over the course of the past few weeks, because you have to sit in this energy, obviously, just visiting for a few days, it's very hard to gain an impression. But after sitting in this for a few weeks, I have experienced a lot of attacks, especially at nighttime. And I do think it has to do with the place that I'm staying in too, or just like the energy of the village, because I'm staying in a more village area this time. Kind of like these mischievous energies, like a lot of nightmares. So there's something there, just random doors making a noise, and it's not just the wood, let's put it that way, but it's really like, okay, there's either a ghost, a spirit, or some entity here. And so I had to cleanse it already twice. That helped a little bit, but it's still floating around, and I don't have the energy at this point to fully cleanse it because I'm not staying for that much longer over there. But it was interesting that all of this was kind of thrown in my way, just like today, all these random people are just interrupting when I'm trying to record, when it's not that crowded, it's really not Jerusalem type of crowded or anything. It is a holiday weekend, so you do have a lot of tourists here. You have a lot of Russian speaking people in general in this country, and I myself do have a lot of Russian friends, but I have to say it gets so annoying after a while, because I feel, and this is nothing against Russian people or nothing against Cypriots, nothing against Greeks, or it's nothing against any culture, but you notice a pattern. Someone commented recently on one of my videos saying the world is filled with plastic people. You notice this pattern that no matter what country these people come from, they're all the same. It's not even that they always look the same, but they do have the same aura, the same energy field around them. There's nothing super interesting about them. They're either here because they live here for whatever reason, which I don't even know what the reason, because they're not the people who honor the land. They're not the people who tap into the energy of the land. They're literally here to evade taxes from the tax country they come from, because Cyprus has a good tax policy, or they're here for maybe a job or in tech industry or whatever, because that's really blowing up right now, especially in Limassol and Nicosia. So they're here for various different reasons that has nothing really to do with the country of Cyprus. It's more like maybe financially, or maybe they needed to escape the war in Ukraine, Russia, something like that, but it's not like they're coming here and they're doing anything about the energy, or they're working with the energy of the land. They're really just either exploiting it or kind of sitting in it, swimming in the ocean, being a tourist. And as great as that is, that's just kind of not, I don't want to say colonization or anything, but that's kind of like, it's going towards the direction of abusing the land, the ancient land, because this is very ancient land, and you can feel that, and so it's all these people that don't really belong here, because they don't know anything really about what this feels like, and what the entities and energies are on this land. And so I was just dealing with a lot of those today. I'm not frustrated because I understand it, but if I were not to understand it, I think I would turn very frustrated. But I've experienced that before, just these random interruptions when I was really trying to film. I've experienced those in the US too, obviously. And it was just so eye-opening to see that happen today, for sure. And it's really just not the most interesting people at all. Not to overgeneralize, but it really just feels like this whole bunch of background people here to fill up the space. They don't have a real purpose in their life, They don't really want a purpose in their life, I feel. Like a lot of them are just, here, family, kid, whatever, with the wrong partner, or with a partner that's okay, but not really challenging, or not really someone, it's just not very exciting people. Like, I hate to say that. And I feel that's really one thing that does bother me a little bit about visiting places like this, also visiting places like Italy and Greece and Spain. And, it's strange. It's strange just to always see that in action over and over again. But nonetheless, it's lovely right now, and the weather has been really amazing. Also, another thing was the imagery on the walls all over. I think I found an imagery of a gray world and a paradise world. So that could maybe be the hell realm and the heaven realm, or the AI world and the current vibrant world that we perhaps have access to, or that we used to have access to. And then I saw this image of someone who was dropped from the heavens down. So I kind of felt that's like the gods that were dropped down somehow. Yeah, I mean, I just got to go through the images again. It's very hard when you have so many interruptions in the background, but overall, those are my impressions. And I hope this helps someone. You have a lovely day ahead. Thanks for watching. Until then.